Welcome here today to Hot Legendary Wheels, and we are pumped, Dad. We are excited. I know, Dad, we're pumped and excited right now.
I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful day. You couldn't help but be excited today.
Today is beautiful. The sun shines out. It's just a beautiful day. Just a little breeze in the air, not too bad. A little coolness in the air. But other than that, it's a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Of course, this video will be coming up on Sunday, tomorrow. But it's a beautiful Saturday here today. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. But today, Dad, we have a legendary lineup for them here today. Starting off with this, wow, Signature Models.
Signature makes beautiful.
1930 Pierce Arrow Model B. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Dad has got some stats for this you don't want to miss. Let me just start off with something. If you haven't subscribed to the Hot Legendary Wheels channel, do it now. If you haven't followed us on Twitter, do it now, because today's show is iconic. And I promise you, what we have today is going to be very good. So, Dad, let's start off with this 1930 Pierce Arrow Model B from Signature Models. And on the bottom, we have a 1950 Studebaker Champion. Look at this. This is incredible.
The Pierce Arrow was a beautiful car. The company was owned by George Pierce. And people were drawn to this car for simply the fact that it had just impeccable engineering. There was nothing. It seems like everything was perfect on the car. And the durability was so good. They just had great service. They couldn't help but brag about their car, how good it was, the people that would buy the cars. It was very good to them. And Pierce Arrow had a great history as well. It actually served in our military in World War I.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
It did. It was used by the military. But also the American Red Cross used the Pierce Arrow as their staff cars.
Wow.
So the history of this thing when it first started was really great. Now, George Pierce's company actually began as a bicycle and a birdcage company.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you think, now how did he get over to making cars? But he did. He loved cars. So
well, I'll tell you one thing. When he made this one, it's iconic. It's beautiful.
He started out very small, which was but it was a beautiful car. It was called a motorette, and it was a one-cylinder car that he made his very first rendering, and it was a great success for him. He did well in that 1901. So by 1904, well, the Great Arrow, the Pierce Great Arrow was offered and went on sale. And by 1905, well, they was entering races with this car, the Glidden Tour. The Glidden Tour, big race every year. The Pierce Arrow won it 5 years in a row.
5 years?
Yeah, it owned that race. It did.
Wow.
Yeah. So it did quite.
So it was actually a sports car.
It was. It
wow.
was.
And it doesn't even look like, you know what? I have to say this, it looks like a sleeper. It doesn't even look like a sports car. That's incredible.
Well, these cars were very, very good for the day. And the engines they carried, they actually had large engines because they were inline, straight line, L-head, 8 engines, 8 cylinders. The first one that was offered was a 366 cubic inch, and it had something like 125 horses. But this, at any rate, by 1914, well, the company patented its design. It was a fender. The way the headlights is a fender-mounted headlights. Other companies liked the design, but they didn't dare copy it because they would have had to pay royalties for it because it was copyrighted. But in 1920, well, they had a dash-mounted Waltham clock, which was a very expensive clock.
Wow, let me turn this around. I want people to see the inside the dash of there.
They did dual ignition and dual valves were on the car, standard.
Wow.
By 1926, power brakes were added to the car. And by the mid-20s, the Series 80 was introduced. And, well, it was a little less expensive. It didn't really catch on very well for the Pierce Arrow because everyone who had the longer cars, they thought it just kind of took away from some of the, I guess you would say, the way they look, the prestige of the car. So it was not accepted too well, so it didn't last very long. But 1928, the Pierce Arrow was still going strong. but then it started to run into a little bit of financial difficulty. So the reason I have the Studebaker under the bottom right there
Get the Studebaker up.
is because they bought out the Pierce Arrow.
Whoa. Hold up. You're saying to me that Studebaker bought out the Pierce Arrow?
They did.
So why did they buy out the question I have here today?
Well,
why did they buy out the Pierce Arrow?
Well, it was a decision of the board of directors with Pierce Arrow to sell the company to Studebaker. Studebaker was doing quite well, and it was actually an autonomous type relationship. This car right here, the Pierce Arrow, was actually operating on its own, but it was owned by Studebaker.
Wow.
Both were doing quite well. And so the Arrow was doing so well that by 1930, right here, you have the Model B come out.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, in 1930, the Pierce Arrow, it was the largest selling of and most available of the Pierce Arrows. And the car had a 134-inch wheelbase. That's still a long car. And this was a dual cowl sport phaeton. And it's a beautiful car. As you see the design of you,
look at the grill of this. I mean, just the beauty of this.
The 1930s cars. See, this is something. If you ever go to shows and you notice the cars the way they're designed, typically they will tell you the decade and what kind of the history of the decade for which the cars were designed. In the 1930s, all had these fenders. Now, by the time that this Pierce Arrow reached its top peak, oh man, it was absolutely a gorgeous car, which was 4 years from now, from the 1930. This 1930, there were 4 cars with a 134-inch wheelbase that were offered, and there were 11 different styles at 139-inch chassis. But 5 of these that were offered were 7-passenger cars.
Wow.
See, this car right here was more the sport type, but they actually had one that the roof went to the back, almost similar to what you would see in our SUVs today, or the station wagons of the past. But the patrons of the Pierce Arrow, well, they enjoyed that long wheelbase. That long wheelbase actually gave them a real good ride, made the car real stable. It was a real good car. And so as these things began to evolve, this 366 cubic inch had 125 horsepower, and it was actually the top of the line Model A. It actually carried a similar type engine in it. Now, of course, the headlamps on the Model A were actually incorporated into the fenders. That's the first time anybody ever did that kind of thing, and it had a 144-inch chassis.
Wow.
But these cars, as this 1930 began to progress through the year, it was doing extremely well. This car sold well. This car did extremely well. As a matter of fact, some of the stats on this some of the specifications was the engine, it was a straight 8, and the displacement was a 366, 125 horsepower, a 3-speed transmission, and had a 137-inch wheelbase, but the car's base price was $2,385. This was much less than the A model, because the A model would list out for somewhere around $8,000 during this time. It's a very expensive car for this day, but people that bought it, they had nothing but praise for it. Well, in New Delhi, they had what was called, it was in March of 1931, just the year after this car was made, they had the Prince's convention. Of all the things that were going on, all the pomp and all the ceremonies, all the cars they had on display out there, there was this brilliant red sports phaeton. And that thing stood out above everything. Everybody said their eyes should go just to the Pierce Arrow above everything. It just stood out so well. It was so beautiful. So this car had a wonderful, rich history. But in 1934, once again, it ran into some financial problems. This was its best year. The aerodynamics were really good. It was using 3D parts on there. Everything looked so well on the 1934. It had the most powerful of the engines, the best ride. Everything had 8-point motor mounts. Everything was just right on the car. However, just like a lot of the cars in the 1930s, there was not enough money still to go around for people to continue to buy new cars. So that was the last year that the Pierce Arrow was produced. Wow. However, if you look at these cars, don't ever forget them, because these were the kind of cars that actually paved the way for the automobiles that we have today.
Yes, this is history.
It is.
This is incredible history.
Don't ever forget history. If you forget history or you don't learn history somewhere down the way, history always repeats itself.
That's the reason why we love the automobile, because it teaches you history.
It does.
And it shows you, a lot of these cars, from the Studebaker to the Pierce Arrow, they have brought about history and changed history.
These cars came out right after they actually made it through the Depression, but after the Depression, it was still tough times, and so that's the reason a lot of them didn't make it out and last any longer than it did. It wasn't the fact they weren't good cars. They were some of the best cars in the world. They had great, great reputations.
And we want to thank Signature Models with this 1930 Pierce Arrow Model B. This is an incredible die cast, an incredible casting, so much detail as you can see in the camera. Also, we want to thank Road Signature Models for their 1950 Studebaker Champion. Incredible die cast here, and just beautiful casting, Dad, that they have done with the burgundy, I would say a deep red or burgundy color. And if you notice, these two castings actually have the same color to them almost. Our
family, when I was small, I've already showed some pictures of me when I was 10 myself, but that's the exact model, the same kind of car that our family had when I was...
It's beautiful. Love these
Studebaker, yeah.
Hey, there's one thing that we love on this show is comments. Dad, we love comments, and we take every comment to heart. And let us know what you think about these two incredible castings right here. And let us know what you think about them. Which one is your favorite? Or maybe both of them is your favorite. We love to hear comments, and we want to thank everyone who comments to this show week after week, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Thank you so very much for your comments, because you are legendary.
That's right.
Just as these cars are.
These cars and our viewers are completely legendary.
So, Dad, we jump from the iconic, legendary 1930 Pierce Arrow Model B and the iconic, legendary 1950 Studebaker Champion to something incredible today. We have got some Mini Coopers.
We got some Mini Coopers.
We've got some Mini Coopers. We have an original one.
Paul McCartney used to drive Mini Coopers.
Yes, he did. Paul McCartney. Love Paul McCartney. So, Dad, are you ready? Are they ready? Listen, if you have not subscribed to the Hot Legendary Wheels channel, to our show, do it now. If you haven't followed us on Twitter or followed us on Facebook, do it now. Because what we're about to show you is legendary. Dad, we went out shopping this morning. And we went out just a little bit of Hot Wheel hunting, not too far up the road. And we found a Super.
Matter of fact, it was before the sun came up.
Even before the sun came up. But to start off this iconic, legendary Mini Cooper show we have for everybody here today, I want to first and foremost show them the original. And Dad, you dig this. You brought this out of your collection, which is incredible.
Out of the year 2000.
Here it is right here. Wow. This is incredible. Here is the original 2000 first editions Mini Cooper, 30 of 36 cars. The debut of this was first editions, produced from 2000 until now. This is the original. Designer was Phil Ryman. Thank you, Phil, for designing such an incredible, legendary casting in Hot Wheels. And remember Mr. Bean?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean loved the Mini Cooper.
These cars still, man. I tell you what, it's like driving around in a little go-kart or something, and you're riding around. Yeah, they're cool.
This is amazing. So the Mini Cooper is a Hot Wheels casting designed by Phil Ryman based on the 1961 through 2000 Austin and Morris Mini Coopers, a performance version of the BMC's Mini. The Mini Cooper debuted in the 2000 first editions, which is right here, number 30 of 36. Since then, it has also been given the name Morris Cooper. With some models, the top of the body is able to pop off. So on some of the Hot Wheel models, the top of the body is able to pop off. Now, we do have in our collection a convertible Mini Cooper, which we will show you in a future video. We got to dig it out of our archives. But today, Dad, we go from the original.
Yeah, I was fortunate that was at the top of the pile.
I know. Literally, ladies and gentlemen, we opened the box. This was on top. It was meant to be. Yep. It was laying right there like, I want to be on this show today.
That's right.
And here it is, the original. But Dad, we go from the original to today's Mini Cooper, and this is today's Mini Cooper. This is not the Super. This is the 2019 version.
Yep.
Of the Mini Cooper. This is incredible. Love this casting. Love the blue Hot Wheels deco on here. It's got the Hot Wheels race team deco on here. Dad, what do you like about the original until now?
I think both of them, they're just fantastic representations for the Mini. They've done a great job on this die cast, and I mean they just scream out fun. I mean, You see the Mini, you just think fun, man. That'd be fun.
I could see having a stick shift with this.
Oh yeah.
And you're shifting in between gears. You know, you're sitting at a red light, and you go and you shift between gears, and that thing just hauls tail down the road.
I had so many manual shift cars and trucks. I just enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. I feel like I got more control of everything on the vehicle, not only just driving, but even the gears, everything, RPMs, everything on the car when I even got the manual shift with it.
But Dad, not only do we have those two.
Oh, that's not all?
No, it's not. Because we're about to surprise everybody.
It surprised us.
That's watching it. It did. Like literally, we were going through the bin this morning. I told Dad, I said, Dad, there's got to be a Super in here. Like there has definitely got to be a Super in here. And sure enough, are they ready for it?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So we go from the original to the regular 2019 to the Super.
Boom, there it is.
Look at this. We have the Super Mini Cooper. And this is known as, now, this is the Mini Cooper. I have to
A Super Mini Cooper. A Super Mini Cooper. You're the boy that don't know it, son.
I have to apologize to everybody because I actually mispronounced this. This is the Morris Mini. So this is the Super Morris Mini. The original is the Mini Cooper. Now we are at the Morris Mini. But Dad, look at this.
It is gorgeous.
This is the Super. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me bring this up to everybody right now.
They dress those things up.
You can see the TH right there. And there is the kind of goldish flame logo right there. But I want everybody to notice something. The interiors of both these cars. The interior of the regular is red. The interior of the Super is gray. Okay? And also, what is so cool, let me put these back down, are the colors of these two cars. Of these two 2019s right here. The regular is just a blue color, but the Super, you want to hear it? Is a Spectra Flame color.
It's a beautiful color.
So this is a Spectra Flame blue, and this is a regular blue.
I didn't know what color it was, but it's pretty.
It's beautiful. Dad, when we found this Morris Mini, the Super Morris Mini this morning, and the regular this morning, this was incredible.
Yeah.
And we said, Dad and I, we talked, we were like, we got to find the original. we've got to find the 2000 original first edition, and we did. It was at the top of the box. It was meant to be.
I was thinking I'm going to have to go do some digging.
I mean, it was meant to be. Let us know what you think right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think about the Super. I call it the Super Morris Mini. And we are huge Mini Cooper fans and Morris Mini fans. They're all the same car, just different names. And like I said, I love the Team Racing decos on this. The decos are really cool. And of course, the Spectre Flame Blue on the Super is legendary.
You talk about rally cars too. These things are real good rally cars.
Super rally cars. But Dad, not only do we have a treasure hunt of that, but in a future video, Batman is back on hot legendary wheels.
That's right.
You do not want to miss this treasure hunt. I'm going to tell you something right now. This is why you need to subscribe to Hot Legendary Wheels. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Because not only do we have the Super Morris Mini, the regular Morris Mini, the original Mini Cooper from 2000 first editions, but we have a Batman treasure hunt.
Yeah.
That we're going to show everybody in a future video. So subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. But Dad, before we go on, I want to take a moment. And it is so incredible to see where this show has come from. We started out with 0 subscribers, 0 followers on Twitter, 0 followers on Facebook, and now we're over 150 subscribers on YouTube. And we are almost at 30,000 views on Twitter with 37 followers on Twitter. And on Facebook, we have so many views. And right now, Dad, I want to take a moment and thank every one of them. Every one of them. Every one of them are special.
All you folks are so much. You're our friends. You're the ones that we consider very special.
Yes,
that
you
take
are
the time to allow us to be a part of your day. Thank you so much for being a part of ours. It makes our day so much better, and we really do enjoy bringing these shows to you because our love for the automobile is very high, but to have representations out here that we can look at too of these cars and everything that these diecast makers produce for us. I mean, it is absolutely just a wonderful, fun time, and we just thank y'all for joining us each time.
And of course, there's a Matchbox version of the Mini Cooper as well. So many different versions. But Dad, like I was saying, every single subscriber we have, every single person who comments to this show, every single person who shares this channel, every single person who follows us, comments to us, and views us on Twitter, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, each and every one of you are legendary. We bring you this show every week.
We love the cars, but the show is for you.
Yes, we love each and every one of y'all. Y'all are legendary, you're special, you're iconic, and without y'all, this show is not possible. And also, want to take a moment to thank every single die-cast maker. And I know there's too many to mention, but every single one of you who are behind the scenes putting these castings together, every single one of you who designs these castings, every single one of you who, sells these castings at a store, you are legendary. You are iconic, and we thank you for what you do.
All we can say is keep them coming.
Keep them coming. I mean, look at these. You got the Super Morris, you got the 2000 first edition Mini, you got the regular Morris, and you got the Matchbox Mini Cooper right there. It can't get no better than that. And this show is dedicated to each and every one of y'all here today. And we want to thank y'all for what y'all do. And now we're going to be shifting gears because we have promised everybody hey, we have an original of this. We have an original of that. Well, today, we got them.
Yeah, I tell you, when
we have dug out of our archives.
When we make a promise,
we keep it.
We keep our word.
We keep our word. I just want to say right now that I personally want to thank Larry Wood for designing the first one that we're going to show them. And this was part of the Ultra Hot series, and we showed everybody a while back one of the silver bullets. But now, Dad, we have the original.
The original.
From 1985.
Yeah.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the real deal. It's the real deal.
Let's bring this thing out. It's ready for the car wash. Here it is.
We ain't playing, boys.
From Ultra Hots. Look at this. This is the original, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the show right now. And follow us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. This is the original silver bullet produced by Larry Wood himself. Wow.
I tell you what, that is a gorgeous design, and it has stood the test of time for sure.
Now, the silver bullet is a Hot Wheels casting by Larry Wood, which debuted in the 1975 Flying Colors series. The casting debuted under the name Large Charge in 1975 and has also gone by the name Aeroflash. Year 1985, this is a year 1985. This is unpainted, and the tempos are yellow, red, purple, ultra hot on the top right here, and the windows are black. This is an original. Now, we have two other castings of this. Okay? These right here are also castings of the silver bullet, but their names, are the Aeroflash.
Yeah.
So you have the silver bullet, and then you have the Aeroflash. Now, the purple one right here, did you see to the left on the car wash, is from 1992 Hot Wheels. It's known as the Aeroflash, and it's the purple Aeroflash. This is the purple. Next one over is the purple silver bullet Blizzard. Right there.
I tell you what, they've taken that car and they've done a lot of neat things since the original, but that original is a beautiful original. Yes, it is.
And I want to show everybody. Pure metal. Pure metal. Bottom, top, everything's metal. And as you see, it has history to it too. Look at the history on it. Very, very beautiful.
Yep.
But there's the original. Now, Dad, we have another original.
We do.
Wow. This is incredible. We have another original.
I tell you what.
For all of our viewers here today. Here it is. You ready?
I'm ready.
Remember the Ford F-150 that we showed a while back?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is the original one. So let's move the iconic, legendary silver bullet up here. Now we bring in, we are truck lovers. Here is the original 1997 Ford F-150.
That is the original. The first year that was ever produced by Hot Wheels.
Look at this. This is first editions. This is the original, produced from 1997 until 2003 as the stock. This is the stock version right here. Then it was produced again in 2006 until now as the lifted 4x4 version. Now we have tons of castings of this, plus we have lifted ones we're going to show in future shows here on Hot Legendary Wheels. The designer of this was Michael Collins. Thank you, Michael, for what you do. And the color is red. Love red.
That's a good color.
Man, and the tempos are red, white Hot Wheels logo on rear bumper. Look, there is the Hot Wheels logo tag right there on the back. How cool. How cool is that? And there's a chrome bed.
I tell you what, Hot Wheels and their trucks, man, they do a good job with those trucks.
Wow. Incredible, incredible. These are, like I said, we promised y'all. We told y'all, hey, we got originals of stuff. We are delivering to y'all here on Hot Legendary Wheels. And
in future shows, there's more to come.
Oh my goodness, we have found more originals coming up in future shows you don't want to miss. Plus, an original Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
Red Lamborghini that they don't want to miss.
No,
it's going to be in a future show. So you don't want to miss out on that. But now we're going to be shifting gears again because I want to give a shout out to Hot Wheels Diecast Dude. He left a comment. And he's, we have this box. Let me bring over this box of Hot Wheels. We have this box of Hot Wheels and Matchbox over here. He noticed the tank right here. So, shout out to him. He said, hey, I want to see the tank. Can you put some descriptions on the tank? So today, we want to thank, and like I said, we look at every comment. And we want to thank everybody who comments to this show. You are legendary. We take every comment to heart. If you want to see something, leave a comment. We will show it on this show. We will show you it, and we will go into great detail.
We'll do our best to have everything that we can,
Yes.
because we have got a large collection for sure.
So here is from Matchbox, the Abrams Main Battle Tank.
There it is.
Now, produced from 1994 through 2006. Now, this is not the original. This is the 1998 version from the 5-pack Jungle Attack set. The color is black, the tempos are camouflaged, and the base is brown plastic. As you can see right here, the base is brown plastic. But I will say this, the body is metal.
Yeah.
The body is metal. Love, love, love. I love how Matchbox does their tanks and all of their military equipment.
Yeah, they honor.
Also, Hot Wheels does a legendary job on their military
They
cars.
do. They honor our military folks
Yes.
in a wonderful way, and we just appreciate them so much.
So thank you very much for all your comments. And like I said, if you want us to show you something, you may say, hey, there's a car in that box right there I want to see. I want you to go into more detail on that car. Or you may see something back. Look, you may see a car back here in the background up here. Maybe it's on the car hauler. You may say, I want to see that. Go into detail. We will go into great detail on those cars.
Now, there's some that I have that you and we pulled out just recently that it's gonna after we get the specs on all these and everything, and we're finished with these.
Yes.
We're going to them,
Where
and they have some really way back.
Hold up. What are you telling me?
I'm telling you, those cars we pulled out, and I put
them. I know which one. The convertibles.
Ooh, bunches of them. And see, I put them in there. You told me to separate them out because we were going to use them in a
future video,
future show.
Really? I do remember that now.
So all I'm saying is, you ain't seen nothing yet.
No, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I brought him out of my room. I brought him boxes of Hot Wheels, and we started looking through these Hot Wheels, and we found stuff that were like, oh my goodness. And then he's been looking through his collection, and he's been showing me some stuff that literally, through both of our collections as father and son that we have, you definitely want to subscribe to this show, and you definitely want to follow us on Twitter, and you definitely want to follow us on Facebook, because I will tell you why. Because the things that we're going to be showing you in future shows are just, they're legendary.
And
that's all I got to say. They're legendary, and you don't want to miss it.
And we were talking about some of the cars that we're looking for, and they're in there. And we're looking for some that we really want to show as well.
And they're literally there.
And they're there, so
remember that Johnny
Lightning? We're digging.
Hey, remember that Johnny Lightning that we found?
Oh, yeah.
The Johnny Lightning race car that was out of the pack, but we found it in the box?
Yeah.
It was like a dirt track car.
I know it.
But it's from Johnny Lightning, but it's a way back. It's like from 1994 or something like that. And it's still in perfect mint condition.
Well, we're gonna be bringing those things in.
We got tons of stuff.
So just tighten up those seat belts and
it's gonna be a wild ride.
Enjoy the ride.
With that being said, keep being
legendary.